What's going on, you wild timekeepers out there? Tom Hiddleston, is that you? Gosh, you have the same hairline as Uncle Tom.
I know.
Loki.
I just need the mullet.
Your favorite fellas are back here once again. This week, we're going to review another exciting episode, episode 2, titled The Variant of Disney Plus's brand new Marvel cinematic show, Loki, starring Tom Hiddleston and Uncle Owen Wilson over there, as we like to
Whoa,
say. Wow.
whoa.
Wow.
What is
That's
Joey?
more Joey Lawrence.
Whoa.
Whoa. He pops up in the next episode. That'd be amazing. The episode 2 just premiered today. This is Wednesday. We're shooting this Wednesday. So we've just had the opportunity, both of us, to watch this episode. And a lot happened in this episode. We pick up from where episode 1 left off with Loki, there at the TVA with Uncle Mobius there, Agent Mobius. And we get an introduction scene where we're transported to Oshkosh, Wisconsin in 1985 at a Renaissance fair, complete with the, people in costume with the haircut where it's like a bowl, but it's bald on top.
Yeah.
And it totally looks like a Renaissance fair that we've all seen.
Like monks.
Yeah, monks. They look like there's monks there and people dressed for the Renaissance times. And then we see a couple of hunters, being transported there, obviously looking to hunt down a variant.
Yeah, so the TVA hunters show up. They're looking for the variant, which is supposed to be like the other Loki, essentially. And that's when we get the introduction for, once again, I need a hero.
Hero.
It's all straight up 80s, but actually fit in that scene compared to like He-Man and the other trailers have been using that song recently. Shit goes down, essentially.
You see the shadowy hooded figure that we saw towards the end of episode 1 of Loki, who we don't know who it is yet, but we do find out quickly in this episode. And after this little scene, we see the hunters get captured. One of the hunters is taken by this mysterious figure. And then basically we meet up with Loki and Agent Mobius back at TVA. Agent Mobius is having Loki go through all the training videos. He's watching videos, getting orientated to what he's, his mission now, trying to get familiar with all the rules. Now that we're in this show here and with the TVA, he needs to learn how all these, time jumps are going to happen and how everything works with these branches off the timeline. What he can and can't do, what works and what doesn't work. And that'll set up the episode for, Agent Mobius having Loki, they're going to try to get this plan together to go find this variant that's causing all this havoc and try to set the timeline right again.
Yep. And he's going back and he's learning about this Nexus event, as they say, is, the destruction of the sacred timeline throws everything off. And Loki has his jacket that he's given that says variant on it. It's like the 80s, what do you call those jackets? Players only jacket kind of thing.
Members only. Yeah.
Or members only jacket.
Mm-hmm.
This is variant on the back, which is pretty funny. It reminded me much of like a sitcom from the 80s or 90s. I was just waiting for the laugh track.
And yeah,
very
really comedic tone.
Very comedic tone with I needed a laugh track in the background, and trying to understand everything about this role and then finding this person that's doing all these bad things. They're going to hunt that person down. And at the end of the episode, we finally figure out who that is. And the person I predicted was not that person. So kind of threw me off, but it was really well done.
This whole episode was well done. We have Loki in the beginning. He goes out on the field, for, on the hunt for this variant. And as per usual with Loki, he's, going to try to get away with double crossing everybody. He wants to meet with the timekeepers eventually and go right the wrongs that he saw in the first episode. But Agent Mobius is on to it. They're not going to let him screw around this time. He needs to complete the mission in order to go end up meeting the timekeepers and set things right. So they know he's messing around. So they figure it out. But Loki does end up coming up with this scheme, and he figures out where the variant is hiding. And he figures out that the best place to hide is during these cataclysmic events in history. So we see a scene where they go to Pompeii, where the big volcano blast was that ended up killing everybody. So they go there first, and he's looking around for the variant. Eventually it leads to this big Costco like warehouse, store, Rox Corp or something like that. But it's like a Costco kind of store, and that's where they end up coming across this variant that we saw at the end of the episode 1, and by the end of the episode, we figure out who it is, and it's a big surprise, and it's a character that's known from the comics, and this is the first time that he or she may appear in this universe. So yeah, very cool episode. Lots happened. Lots of stuff to explain, lots of things to comprehend with the timelines and the Nexus events. And I liked where things went in this episode, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. There's a lot of possibilities now with this, especially with this character introduced, about what can happen and how Loki's gonna end up finding this character.
There's a bunch of really great stuff in this episode. The ending of it reminded me of like Ash versus Evil Dead. It's in a convenience store and it's super dark, and they're like fighting, and without giving too much away, of like changing bodies essentially, and Loki's there trying to defend everybody and himself, and it really reminded me of like a dark horror TV show or movie. It went Sam Raimi on us at the end, which is really cool.
It definitely did. Yeah, they're in the store, the lights are flickering, there's a big fight scene, it's chaotic. Yeah, it reminded me of Ash vs. Evil Dead too. Good call there. Good pull.
Yeah, I was waiting for Bruce Campbell to show up or something, or a Deadite. Like coming
so
out.
What character did you think it was going to end up being then?
Mephisto.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've been waiting for him to show up since WandaVision.
Yeah, every show that comes out, I'm like, he's gonna. Well, Falcon Winter Soldier, I'm like, no, but Loki definitely. Everything with the time jumps and things like that, and all the shape shifting, and that's what Mephisto is, shapeshifter, changing to different people. So I thought that's who it was, and then they revealed the person at the very end. I'm like, oh, okay, not what I predicted, but it's okay because Disney Plus unpredictable at times with these Marvel shows.
Yeah, and you never know, the character that we see at the end there might end up being Mephisto. I mean, since Mephisto can be anybody, so
that's true.
It could be throwing us a.
I think it was the first episode. There was like a devil painting. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
Mephisto. It's like a devil. It's like a devil or demon.
So yeah, the camera went on it and slowly showed it. So yeah, it definitely had some meaning there.
Yeah, I don't know if that was intentional, but I'm like, Mephisto going to show up in this episode. We're trying to figure out who this variant person is. It's causing all these things to happen, bad things to happen. So I'm like, maybe this could be the introduction of that character finally, live action. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Another part of this episode I enjoyed, they dived into Asgard. Obviously, Thor and Loki are from. So without, again, giving too much away, it's cool they kind of dived into that. And really great scene with Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston. I thought they were great together. They really have good chemistry together in the show thus far.
Yeah, good casting with Owen Wilson. He does work well together with Tom Hiddleston. The both of them feed off each other, provide some comedic elements to the show that we didn't really. We saw a little bit on Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, but obviously Owen Wilson's a legend of comedy. For 10, 15 straight years there, he was in
20 years.
20 years. He was in every other comedy movie and some really huge movies that made you say, wow. So It's good to see him back. And he fits in this role pretty nicely. So well cast character. And he does a good job as one of the TVA agents there.
He definitely does. I wasn't really sure what to expect with him, but he's definitely showing some acting chops and not the silly goofiness character he always is. They kind of got like a Mulder and Scully vibe to them. I don't know why that is with Loki and Owen Wilson's character.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gonna get some paranormal stuff with all going back in time and different timelines and things like that, and then having to do with this Nexus event of destroying the sacred timeline that everything kind of abides by. So it's pretty interesting. It's given me, I have a lot more questions for the remaining episodes of the season. And seeing hopefully they're going to answer all that. It's all going to tie into maybe Doctor Strange too, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, you mentioned the Asgard stuff. Ragnarok was mentioned a lot.
Ragnarok, yep.
In this episode. So yeah, it's very cool, all the callbacks, and I'm interested to see in these last batch episodes. I think we have 4 to go because the whole season 1 is going to be 6 episodes in total. So it'll be interesting to see if we are going to go back to any of the events of, say, Ragnarok or any of the other Marvel films and actually see this Loki, with maybe the scenes from those old movies in the background, or if we maybe even see some characters show up, some big reveals towards the end of the season, maybe some characters come over.
Yeah, I got a feeling we're going to see some familiar faces in the show showing up at some point of this series. With 4 episodes left, I don't know who that's going to be, but I think we will see some more familiar faces kind of show up.
Absolutely. We're going to see something big by the end. This is all leading to something huge, and Kevin Feige has said that this is going to tie into what's coming with, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and the films to come. So really looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. Episode 2, titled The Variant. For me, it was good. It wasn't great. I mean, it's still building. It's still, introducing us to these characters, kind of getting us familiar with these timelines and how things are going to work with them going after these other variants of Loki. So there's a lot of exposition. This one wasn't as talky as the first episode. There was more action in this one. So overall, I think there's going to be some awesome episodes, especially the last few. I bet are going to be just amazing. This one was, for me, I'm going to give this episode a 3.5 out of 5 timekeeper hair pieces.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode too. It's more action packed, like you were saying, less dialogue, getting to the point. Loki working with TVA and introducing this character we've been questioning since the first episode. The whole ending had a horror movie, Evil Dead feel to it, which I absolutely loved. And it's really setting up the rest of the season to some really big things that are going to happen. Maybe some big, like villains and characters that are going to show up. But I had a great time with The Variant. I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 Mobius hair pieces. Wow.
Great episode. Wow.
That being said, we have more reviews coming out. We just posted our episode 116 podcast, the whole Fellas crew, on Sunday night. Had a blast with that. It was about 3 hours long of us just laughing and having a good old time. We got a review of the amusement park coming up. We got more Bad Batch series, Star Wars series, reviews, interviews, podcasts coming very soon.
Also, check out our YouTube channel. We just posted up our Fellas giveaway for this month. We're giving away a 4K digital code of Godzilla versus Kong. So please head over to the channel and tell us what your most anticipated movie is for the rest of the year. I've already checked a couple answers. They got some good ones. We got some Halloween Kills. Somebody said Black Widow after all the postponements. They're excited for that. So yeah, we want to hear from you guys what your most anticipated movies are for the rest of the year. And the random winner will be drawn and they'll get the digital code for this bad boy. So you enter.
You all have 1 week to enter in that contest, where we'll be announcing the winner next Thursday night. Gives you a week to submit your answer, and my answer is going to be Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for that. I really wish it was coming out like July 4th would have been perfect, but November, we'll wait for it. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'll wait for it. I'm really excited for that. I'm going to be flying my jet into the theater.
Highway to the danger zone. So this has been our review of episode 2, The Variant of Loki, and we look forward to coming back next week for episode 3. Lots of big things are going to happen. I can see it coming right now. So yeah, stay tuned to our channel. We got some reviews coming up and everything we just mentioned. So I guess if that's all you had, Uncle Loki Hiddleston over there, Uncle Logan Hiddleston, we'll say.
Logan Hiddleston is the name they gave me.
Next time, get the members only jacket and pop your collar too. You guys have the same eyes.
I know. We're actually related.
Until next time. Cheers.